Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss topic on wind energy in renewable energy engineering. These all points are covered in this lecture. First one, introduction. Second one, basic components of a wind energy conversion system means WECS. Third one, types of windmill. Horizontal axis wind turbine means HAWT. Vertical axis wind turbine means VAWT. Comparison between horizontal axis and vertical axis wind turbine. Now, first of all, starting from introduction. Wind is essentially air in motion, which carries with it kinetic energy. The amount of energy contained in the wind at any given instant is proportional to the wind speed at that instant. The temperature of the wind also influences the energy content of the wind, but is not important in the context of a wind-based energy production system. On a global scale, the primary force for global winds is developed due to differential heating of the earth at equatorial and polar regions. The following are the main factors that have led to an accelerated development of wind power. First one, availability of high strength fiber composites for constructing large low cost rotor blades. Second one, variable speed operation of electrical generators to capture maximum energy. Third one, falling prices of power electronics. Fourth one, improve plant operation, pushing the availability up to 95%. Fifth one, accumulated field experience, improving the capacity factor. Sixth one, economy of scale as the turbine and plants are getting larger in size. It is a diagram of the basic component of a wind energy conversion system. A wind energy conversion system converts wind energy into some form of electrical energy. In particular, medium and large scale WECS are designed to operate in parallel with a utility AC grid. This is known as a grid connected system. A small system isolated from the grid, feeding only to local load is known as autonomous or isolated power system. Aeroturbines convert energy of moving air to rotary mechanical energy. The turbine shaft speed is step up with the help of gears, with a fixed or variable gear ratio to suit the electrical generator, and fine tuning speed is incorporated by pitch control. In horizontal axis with turbines, your control is provided for proper operation. As the wind direction changes, your control mechanism rotates the turbine slowly about the vertical axis so as to face the blades into the wind. The control unit monitors and controls the interaction among various blocks. It derives the reference voltage and frequency signals from the grid and receives wind speed, wind direction, wind turbine speed signals, etc. Processes them and accordingly controls various blocks for optimal energy balance. The output of electrical generator is connected to the load or power grid. Types of windmills. Wind turbines are classified into the following categories. First one, according to orientation of the axis of rotor. First one, horizontal axis. When the axis of rotation is parallel to the airstream, means horizontal, the turbine is said to be a horizontal axis wind turbine, HAWT. Vertical axis. When the axis of rotation is perpendicular to the airstream, means vertical, the turbine is said to be a vertical axis wind turbine, VAWT. Second one, according to useful electrical power output. First one, small output up to 2 kilowatt. Second one, medium output 2 to 100 kilowatt output. Third one, large output more than 100 kilowatt output. Third one, according to type of rotor. First one, propeller type. It is horizontal axis high speed rotor. Second one, multiple blade type. It is horizontal axis low speed rotor. Third one, Sionius type. It is vertical axis rotor. Fourth one, Darius type. It is a vertical axis rotor. It is a diagram of the horizontal axis wind turbine HAWT. Horizontal axis machines have emerged as the most successful type of turbines. These are being used for commercial energy generation in many parts of the world. They have low cutting wind speed, easy furling, and in general show high power coefficient. However, the design is more complex and expensive as the generator and gearbox are to be placed at the top of the tower. Also, a tail or yaw drive is to be installed to orient them in the wind direction. The main components are as follows. First one, turbine blades. Wind turbines blades needs to be lightweight and possesses adequate strength and hence required to be fabricated with aircraft industry techniques. The blades are made of glass fiber, reinforced plastic means FRP. They have an aerofoil type of cross section to create lift as the air flows over them. The blades are slightly twisted from the outer tip to the root to reduce the tendency to stall. In addition to centrifugal force and fatigue due to continuous vibration, there are many extraneous forces arising from wind turbulence, gust, gravitational forces, and directional changes in the wind. All these factors have to be considered at the designing stage. The diameter of a typical megawatt range modern rotor may be of the rotor of 100 meter. Second one, hub. A hub is the central solid portion of the rotor wheel. All blades are attached to the hub. The pitch angle control mechanism is also provided inside the hub. Third one, nacelle. It houses the generator, the gearbox, brakes, hydraulic system, and the yawing mechanism. Nacelle is placed at the top of the tower and is linked with the rotor. Next one, power transmission system. Mechanical power generated by rotor blades is transmitted to the generator through a gearbox. From the gearbox, the transmission shaft rotates the generator with a built-in friction clutch. The gearbox is provided to increase the speed to suit the generator. The generator electric power is conducted to ground terminals through a cable. Next one, generator. Generally, the grid-connected large wind turbines have induction generators. They use reactive power from grids and feed the generated power to boost the grid supply. Medium capacity wind turbines use synchronous generators installed to electrify villages and remote places. Small capacity wind turbines use permanent magnet DC generators which supply power to microwave stations and illuminate lighthouses. Next one, yaw control. Yaw control continuously tracks and keeps the rotor axis in the wind direction. Yawing is done by two yawing motors which mesh with a big tooth wheel mounted on top of the tower. Wind direction sensor is used to maintain the orientation. During a high speed wind, for example, more than the cut out speed, the machine is stopped by turning the rotor axis at right angle to the wind direction. In small wind turbines, a tail vane is used for passive yaw control. Next one, brakes. Brakes are used to stop the rotor when power generation is not desired. An emergency stop activates the hydraulic disc brake feed to the high speed shaft of the gearbox. Last one, tower. The tower supports the nacelle and rotor. Modern wind turbine generators are installed on tubular tower. Large turbines use lattice tower designed to withstand gravity loads and wind loads. For medium and large side turbines, the tower is slightly taller than the rotor diameter. In case of a small size turbine, the tower is much larger than the rotor diameter as the air is erratic at lower heights. Both steel and concrete tower are being used. Types of rotors: first one, single blade rotor; second one, two blade rotor; third one, three blade rotor; fourth one, Soling rotor; fifth one, choke multi blade rotor; sixth one, American multi bladed rotor; and last one, Dutch type rotor. Types of rotors: it is diagram of single blade rotor, two blade rotor, three blade rotor, and solving rotor. They are suitable for applications such as electrical power generation. The rotational speeds of propeller type are in the range of 300 to 400 rpm. Large horizontal axis wind turbines have been manufactured with two and three blades. I discussed earlier, a single blade rotor with a balancing counterweight is economical, has simple controls, but it is noisy and produces unbalanced forces. It is used for low power application. Soiling rotor blade surfaces are made from cloth, nylon, or plastics arranged as mast and pole. There is also variations in the number of cells used. It is a diagram of the types of rotor: chalk multi-blade rotor, American multi-blade rotor, and Dutch type. They are most suited for water lifting applications which require a high starting torque. They can capture power even from very slow winds. Multi-blade rotor consists of number of curved sheet metal blades with increasing growth length away from the center. Number of blades used are 12 to 20, which having their inner and outer ends fixed onto the respective rims. The speeds of multi-blade type wind turbines rotor are 60 to 80 rpm. They have good power coefficient, high starting torque, and an advantage of simplicity and low cost. Dutch type rotor is one of the oldest design. The blade surfaces are made from an array of wooden slats which feather at high wind speeds. It is the diagram of the pitch control system. The pitch of a blade is controlled by rotating it from its root, where it is connected to the hub. The pitch control mechanism is provided through the hub of the rotor using hydraulic jack in the nacelle. The controller continuously adjusts the pitch to obtain the optimum performance. Thereby, the power and speed of the wind turbine shaft is adjusted to match with the generator speed and its electrical output. It is a diagram of the upwind and downwind machines. And upwind machine in which the rotor is located in front means upwind of the tower. In case of a downwind machine, the rotor is located behind means downward of the tower. A downwind machine low rating allows the use of a pre-yaw system. For example, its rotor automatically orients the direction of wind. It also allows the blades to deflect away from the tower when loaded. However, It suffers from wind shadow effects of the tower on the blades as they pass through the tower's wake, this region of separator flow. On the other hand, an upwind machines produced higher power as it eliminates the tower shadow on the blades. This also results in lower blade fatigue, lower noise and smoother power output. It is a diagram of the teetering of rotor. We know that wind speed increases with height. When the blade attains the upper position, the axial force on the blade is considerably more than when it is at a lower position. For one end to blade rotor, this causes cyclic means sinusoidal load on a rigid hub leading to fatigue. This is greatly relieved by providing a pivot within the hub, means a teeter hinge, that allows the seesaw motion to take place out of the plane of rotation. The rotor leans backwards to accommodate the extra force. The teetering is not required when the number of blades are 3 or more. Vertical axis wind turbine means VAWT. Vertical axis wind turbine is also known as cross wind axis machines. The main advantages of vertical axis wind turbine compared to horizontal axis wind turbine are: first one, the vertical axis wind turbine receives wind from any direction and hence the yawing system is not required. Second one, the generator, the gearbox, etc. can be installed at the bottom of the tower. Hence, the tower design and installation is simple. Next one, the inspection and maintenance is easier. Last one, they are lighter in weight and cheaper in cost. It is a diagram of the vertical axis wind turbine. Vertical axis wind turbines are generally not self-starting and have low power coefficient. These are the major disadvantages. They require mechanism start from the stationary position. Additionally, there is a possibility of running the blade at a very high speed and causing damage to the system. Main components. First one, rotor shaft or tower. The tower is a hollow vertical rotor shaft which rotates freely about the vertical axis between the top and bottom bearings. It is installed above a support structure. In the absence of any load at the top, a very strong tower is not required, which greatly simplifies its design. The upper part of the tower is supported by ropes. The height of the tower of a large turbine is around 100 meter. Second one, blades. It has two or three thin and curved blades. The blades are shaped like an equator in a profile. The blades have an airfoil cross section with constant chord length. The pitch of the blades can't be changed. The diameter of the rotor is slightly less than the tower height. And last one, support structure. The support structure is provided at the ground to support the weight of the rotor. Generator, gearbox, brakes, controls, and electrical switchgear are housed within the structure. Guy ropes are attached to the top for support. Types of rotor. First one, cup type rotor. Second one, Chauvinet rotor. Third one, Darrieus rotor. Fourth one, Musgrove rotor. And fifth one, Magnus effect rotor. It is a diagram of the cup type rotor, Chauvinet rotor, and Darrieus rotor. Starting from first one, cup type rotor. It is the simplest structure attached symmetrically to a vertical shaft. The drag force on the concave surface of the cup facing the wind is more than that on the convex surface. As a result, the structure starts rotating. Lift also plays a small part. The cups crossing the wind experience a small lift because their convex surface deflect the wind and causes pressure reduction. This type of rotor cannot carry a load and therefore cannot be used for power generation. It is used as a device for measuring the wind speed and the apparatus is known as a cup anemometer. Second one, Savonius rotor. This rotor consists of two half cylinder or elliptical blades arranged in S shape. It is also known as a S rotor. The Savonius rotor works like a cup type rotor. The rotor works on drag force produced by the blades. It has high starting torque, low speed and low efficiency. It can extract power even from very slow wind, making it working most of the time. These are used for low power applications. It is suitable for pumping application due to high starting torque. Third one, Darius rotor. This rotor works due to the lift force produced by a set of airfoils. The blades are shaped like a Troposkin profiles means turning rod, which minimize the bending stress caused by centrifugal forces. The Darius rotor is used for large-scale power generation. Its power coefficient is considerably better than that of an S rotor. The aerodynamic force on the blades reverses in every revolution, causing fatigue. This, along with centrifugal force, complicates the design of the blade. This machine is not self-starting. It can be started by using electrical generator as motor. At a high wind speed, it becomes difficult to control the output because the pitch of the blade cannot be changed. For better performance and safety of the blades, gearbox and generator, it is desirable to limit the output to a level much below its maximum possible value. It is the diagram of the Musgrave rotor. It works on lift force. It has H-shaped blade with a fixed pitch. The blades are attached vertically to a horizontal cross arm. Power control is achieved by control folding of the blades. Inclining the blades to the vertical provides an effectiveness means of altering the blades angle of attack and hence controlling the power output. This is a diagram of the Magnus effect rotor. When cylinders spun in the wind spring, translation forces are produced perpendicular to the wind stream by the Magnus effect. Magnus effect rotors consist of spinning cylinders. When a stationary horizontal cylinder is rotated about its axis in crosswind, it will experience a lift force. The effect is equally applicable to a vertical cylinder being rotated about its axis in a crosswind. It will experience a force perpendicular to its axis, which will cause it to move in a direction essentially perpendicular to that of the wind. The concept consists of several tall vertical cylinders that are rotated about their axis in the presence of wind. The resultant of the lift and drag forces more in the direction of the lift because of its larger value propels the cylinders horizontally along a track. Comparison between horizontal axis and vertical axis wind turbine. In horizontal axis turbine, axis of rotation is parallel to the airstream. But in vertical axis turbine, axis of rotation is perpendicular to the airstream. In horizontal axis turbine, U-control mechanism is required to adjust the rotor around vertical axis to keep it facing the wind. In a vertical axis turbine, no orientation of rotor is required. These turbines can generate power with the wind coming from any direction. In a horizontal axis turbine, the power coefficient and tip speed ratio are high, but in vertical axis turbine, the power coefficient and tip speed ratio are considerably low. Now, horizontal axis turbine suitable for large scale power generation, but in vertical axis turbine suitable for small scale power generation and pumping applications. In horizontal axis turbine, initial and maintenance costs are high, but in vertical axis turbine, initial and maintenance costs are low. Thank you.